I was reviewing quarterly reports in my Portland condo when my phone lit up with a group chat notification I didn't recognize. Thompson Family Council, it said. 23 members. My stomach dropped. The first message was from my mother, Patricia. Meeting concluded. Motion passed 19-4. Rachel will assume financial responsibility for Vanessa's children's education, activities, and medical expenses. Effective immediately. I scrolled up. They'd been discussing me for 2 hours while I worked, completely unaware. Discussing my money, my life, my choices. Voting on what I owed them. My hands shook as I typed, "What is this?" Vanessa replied instantly, "We had a family meeting. Everyone except you. We agreed that since you don't have kids and you're doing well financially, you should help with Olivia, Mason, and Harper's expenses. Mom and Dad are on fixed income, Derek and I are stretched thin, and you're just living alone in that fancy condo. It's fair. Fair." I called my mother. She answered defensive and ready. "Before you get dramatic, Rachel, just listen. You held a meeting about my money without me? We knew you'd be difficult. Vanessa needs help. You have the means. We voted democratically. The family decided this is what's best. You voted on my life? Don't be selfish. These are your nieces and nephews. Olivia needs braces, Mason's in travel hockey, Harper's preschool tuition went up. Vanessa and Derek are drowning, and you have no dependents, no mortgage. It's wasteful, Rachel. I'm not paying. Rachel and Thompson, you will do what this family decided. We sacrificed for you growing up. Now it's your turn. What did you sacrifice for me? You had everything you needed. The bare minimum legal requirements of parenting?" Her voice went cold. "You're being ugly. This conversation is over. The decision's made. You can either be family or be selfish. Your choice." She hung up. I sat in silence, something fundamental shifting inside me. They thought they could vote on my life. They had no idea who I'd become. My name is Rachel Thompson, and if you're watching this, stay with me. What my family just did wasn't a meeting. It was a declaration of war. And they had no idea I'd been preparing my entire life. I wasn't raised to be independent. I was raised to be invisible. Middle child in a family with energy only for extremes. Vanessa, 4 years older, was the golden child, beautiful, charming, effortless. She got dance lessons, pageants, spring break trips. Their pride, their success story. Then Marcus, my younger brother, the baby who needed extra attention. Learning difficulties meant tutors, special programs, endless patience. And me. Rachel. The one who figured things out alone. The one who didn't need help, so she didn't get any. I taught myself to read before kindergarten because no one had time. I learned to cook at 8 because someone had to feed Marcus. I did laundry at 10 because Vanessa refused. I wasn't abused. I wasn't neglected legally. I was just forgotten. And that was worse, because I couldn't point to specific trauma. Only to absence. So I became useful. I babysat Marcus for free every weekend. Helped Vanessa with homework despite being younger. Ran errands, remembered birthdays when Mom forgot. Still, I was an afterthought. When Vanessa graduated high school, they rented a venue, invited 100 people, hired a DJ. When I graduated with a 4.0 and full scholarship to Oregon State, we went to Olive Garden. Just the 5 of us. Vanessa complained she was missing a boat party. I kept score. Not from bitterness, but to know if I was crazy. Every forgotten recital. Every "we'll celebrate you later" that never came. Every new car Vanessa got while I drove Mom's broken AC sedan. I wasn't crazy. By 25, I'd built a separate life. Moved to Portland for consulting, rented a studio, threw myself into work. I was good. Really good. Within 3 years, 2 promotions. Within 5, my own firm. I didn't tell them. My success made them uncomfortable. Easier to stay in their box, practical, dependable, uncomplicated Rachel. Vanessa floated on charm and excuses. Dropped out of college, not for me. Bounced between retail jobs. Married Derek after 6 months, pregnant 3 months later. My parents called it fate. I called it poor planning. But that was fine. Her life, her choices. What wasn't fine was what came next. It started small. Can you lend me $300 for daycare? I'll pay you back. She never did. Then bigger. Mom said you'd help with our deposit. Then expected. Rachel's handling Christmas presents this year, right? I said yes every time. Wanting to believe if I gave enough, they'd finally see me. Love me like they loved Vanessa. They didn't. They just took more. When Vanessa had Mason, I sent $1,000 and a handmade blanket. She posted the check on Instagram, so blessed to have family who shows up. Never mentioned my name. When she had Harper, I wasn't invited to the baby shower. I found out on Facebook. When I asked why, Mom said, Vanessa wanted to keep it small. Just close family. Close family. I was her sister. But I wasn't close. I was just the bank. That's when I realized, they didn't love me. They loved my utility. The moment I stopped providing, I'd stop existing. So I decided to test them. See how far they'd go, how much they'd take, how cruel they'd be. I documented everything. Every dollar to Vanessa, logged. Every favor, noted. Every forgotten birthday, recorded. Not in a journal. In a legal document. Because 5 years ago, I consulted a lawyer. If someone asks for money and I give it, is that a loan or gift? Depends on documentation. If you document it as a loan, even informally, it's legally collectible. So I documented everything. Every Venmo, loan for daycare. Every check memo, loan for deposit. Every text where Vanessa said, I'll pay you back, screenshotted and filed. Over 5 years, $47,000. $47,000 she swore she'd repay. That my parents assured was temporary. That made me a good sister. And now they wanted more. A permanent monthly tribute. They were wrong. The spreadsheet arrived 2 days after the vote. Subject, Rachel's contribution plan, Thompson Family Support Fund. Rows of expenses, color-coded by child. Olivia's orthodontics, $320 per month. Mason's hockey, $650 per month. Harper's Montessori, $1,400 per month. Dance, music, camps, supplies, parties. Bottom line, bold, Rachel's monthly total, $4,287. Notes section, Rachel's income estimated at $180,000 plus. This represents 28% of net income, reasonable given her lack of dependence and low overhead. They'd calculated my income. Decided what was reasonable. Itemized my nieces' and nephews' lives. Assigned me a bill. I called Vanessa. Did you make this? Yes. Derek helped with formulas. Organized, right? Total transparency. I'm not paying this. Pause. Her voice sharpened. Excuse me? I'm not paying. You don't get to bill me for your children. The whole family voted. You don't get to opt out because you're selfish. I've given you thousands over the years. And that was nice, but this is different. This is official. You make plenty, you have no responsibilities, we need help. It's simple. I'm not doing it. Quiet. Dangerous quiet. Fine. Then don't come to family events. Don't expect to see the kids. Don't expect mom and dad to take your side. You're either with us or against us. And if you're against us, you're out. She hung up. I stared at the spreadsheet, feeling something I hadn't felt in years: clarity. They'd finally said it. I was only valuable if useful. Only family if funding. The moment I set boundaries, I was the enemy. Good. Because I'd been preparing for this. See, being invisible taught me to observe. Study. Plan. While they underestimated me, I built contingencies. They thought I was soft because I was quiet. Weak because I didn't fight. Stupid because I kept giving. But I wasn't giving from love. I was gathering data. Because what they didn't know, that $47,000 I'd loaned Vanessa was documented. Legally collectible. Every text saying, "I'll pay you back," was binding. While they planned their council meeting, I was planning something bigger. Something they'd never see coming. The bill they sent wasn't a demand. It was evidence. Evidence they saw me as a resource, not a person. Evidence they believed they were entitled to my money. Evidence that would be very useful very soon. I saved the spreadsheet. Backed it up 3 places. Forwarded to my lawyer. They just made this much easier. Then I smiled. Not sad, not bitter. Genuinely amused. They thought they'd cornered me. Thought they'd put me in my place. Thought this was the end. But this wasn't the end. This was the beginning of the end for them. My mother called that evening. I let it go to voicemail. She called again. Again. 3rd time, I answered. "Rachel, this is ridiculous. I'm not ignoring your decision, Mom. I'm declining it." "You don't get to decline. We voted. You voted on my money without consent. That's not democracy. That's theft. How dare you? How dare you? You sat in a room and decided my life doesn't matter because I don't have children. Did it occur to you that maybe I don't have children because I've spent a decade raising Vanessa's? You have not raised her children. I've paid for them, Mom. Funded their lives while she and Derek made poor decisions. Instead of gratitude, you made a spreadsheet billing me. You're being selfish. These are children, Rachel. Your family. Then why don't you pay for them? Why doesn't Dad? Why don't the aunts and uncles who voted yes? Why only me? Silence. Because I'm the one you think you can bully. Because I've always said yes. Because you've spent 32 years training me to believe my worth is measured by how much I give. Rachel. I'm done, Mom. Done funding Vanessa's life. Done being the backup plan. Done being invisible until you need money. Just done. If you do this, you'll regret it. The whole family will turn on you. Good. Then I'll finally know where I stand. I hung up. My hands trembled, but not from fear. From relief. From finally saying the truth out loud. I drafted an email to the group chat. To the family members who voted on my finances without my knowledge or consent, I decline your proposal. I will not be making payments per the contribution plan. Direct questions to my attorney. His contact information below. Do not contact me directly about this matter again. Rachel. I attached my lawyer's card and hit send. Then I blocked Vanessa. Then my mother. Then the group chat. I looked around my condo. My space. My sanctuary. Built with money I earned, discipline I taught myself, boundaries I was finally ready to enforce. They thought I needed them. They were about to learn the truth. They'd been surviving on me for years. And I was about to pull the life support. Because that $47,000 I'd loaned Vanessa wasn't a gift. It was documented. It was legal. And it was about to come due. The demand letter arrived at Vanessa's house on a Tuesday. My lawyer's process server sent me a timestamp, 9:47 a.m., handed directly to Vanessa, signature confirmed. She called 17 times in the next hour. All blocked. Then Derek's phone. Blocked. Then an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Rachel, what the hell? A legal demand for $47,000? Are you insane? You can't sue your own sister. This is family money, gifts, you can't just. Her voice cracked. Call me back. Please. I deleted the voicemail without finishing it. My mother called next, from Dad's phone. I answered. Rachel Marie Thompson, stop this nonsense right now. It's not nonsense, Mom. It's legal debt collection. Vanessa borrowed money, promised to repay, and never did. The documentation is thorough. Those were gifts. I have 43 text messages where Vanessa says she'll pay me back next month or pay me back when Derek's bonus comes. Those aren't gifts. Those are loans. Loans get repaid. You're being vindictive. I'm enforcing a contract. If she wants to dispute it, she can respond to my attorney. We don't have $47,000. You're going to bankrupt your sister over a petty grudge? I'm holding her accountable for money she owes. That's not petty. That's business. This family is falling apart because of you. No, Mom. This family fell apart when you voted to make me your ATM. You just didn't notice until I stopped dispensing cash. I hung up. Within hours, my blog post went viral. 50,000 views. 100,000. By evening, it was on Reddit, Twitter, TikTok. People sharing with captions like, "This is what financial abuse looks like," and "Stop normalizing parentifying childless siblings." A journalist reached out for an interview. I declined but wrote a second post. What happens when you set boundaries with people who only loved your wallet? It got even more traction. Vanessa found the blog. She left a comment, "Easy to play victim when you're leaving out how spoiled you've always been." I didn't respond. Hundreds of others did, tearing her comment apart. Someone replied, "Ma'am, if your sister was so spoiled, why do you owe her $47,000? I smiled. My Aunt Carol called. "Rachel, honey, there's been a misunderstanding." No misunderstanding. You voted yes. You voted I should pay for Vanessa's children. I'm declining. I didn't think you'd take it personally. You voted on my bank account. How else should I take it? Family helps family. Then help her yourself. Send a check. Co-sign a loan. Babysit. Do anything other than volunteering me to fund her poor choices. Silence. That's what I thought. Easy to vote yes when it's someone else's money. 3 more relatives called that week. Same script, I was unreasonable, Vanessa was struggling, family helps family. Same answer, are you offering to pay the $47,000 instead? None were. By week 2, my lawyer informed me Vanessa hired an attorney. They're claiming it was gifted. They want to settle. For how much? $10,000. They're saying that's generous considering no written contracts. I laughed. Counter with full amount plus interest and legal fees. $47,000 is now $52,000 with accrued interest. If they want court, we have documentation they can't dispute. They went silent for 3 days, then offered $20,000 over 2 years. Declined. Full amount or court. Their choice. My father showed up at my condo that night. Waited in the lobby until another tenant let him in. Knocked at 10 p.m. I looked through the peephole. He looked exhausted. I opened the door but didn't invite him in. "Rachel, please. Just talk to me. We're talking. Not like this. Not through lawyers. You're my daughter. Vanessa's your sister. We're family. You keep saying that like it means something. It does. It means we support each other." Support? Dad, when was the last time any of you supported me? He blinked. "We've always supported you. Name one time." One specific instance where you supported me, celebrated me, chose me over Vanessa. He opened his mouth. Closed it. We came to your college graduation. An hour late because Vanessa had a hair emergency. You missed my speech. Left early because she was bored. That's not. When I started my firm, did you congratulate me? Did you ask how it was going? Did you ever express pride? You never said you needed. I didn't need congratulations. I needed you to care. To see me as more than a backup plan. But you never did. What do you want? An apology? Fine. I'm sorry. Your mother's sorry. I don't want an apology. I want accountability. Vanessa owes me money. She's going to pay it. She can't. You know she can't. Then she shouldn't have borrowed money she couldn't repay. Not my problem. It is your problem if it destroys this family. This family was already destroyed. I'm just the first to admit it. He stared at me, fear in his eyes. You've changed. No, Dad. I just stopped pretending. He left without another word. The next morning, an email from my mother. Subject, family emergency. Rachel, your father had chest pains last night. We're at the hospital. He's okay, but doctors say it's stress-related. Stress from this situation you created. If something happens to him, it's on your conscience. Mom. I read it twice, feeling the familiar guilt pulling me back. Then I forwarded it to my lawyer, possible emotional manipulation. Document. And I went to the gym. Because my father's health wasn't my fault. My mother's stress wasn't my responsibility. Their guilt wouldn't work anymore. I was done carrying their baggage. 3 weeks after the demand letter, Vanessa posted on Facebook. Long essay about how some people use money as weapons, how real family doesn't keep score. She didn't name me. Everyone knew. Comments split. Half supported her. Half, having read my blog, called her out. I didn't comment. Instead, I wrote a third post, when your family uses social media to shame you for having boundaries. It went even more viral. News outlets picked it up. A podcast reached out. A literary agent asked about a book. I was becoming the voice for everyone financially exploited by family. For everyone guilt into giving until they had nothing left. My family was panicking. The narrative they controlled for 32 years was slipping. They couldn't paint me as the villain when thousands called me brave. They were losing control. And control was all they'd ever had over me. My cousin Jennifer reached out via LinkedIn. I always knew they treated you differently. I'm sorry I never said anything. I think you're doing the right thing. That message made me cry. Relief tears. Someone saw it. Someone acknowledged I wasn't crazy, wasn't selfish, wasn't wrong. A week later, Vanessa's lawyer called with a new offer, $35,000 in 6 months, structured payments. They're desperate, my lawyer said. They know they'll lose in court. Counter with $45,000. Final offer. They save $7,000 in interest and fees, but pay the principal in full. If they refuse? Court. And I'll make sure every detail is public record. They accepted within 24 hours. Vanessa would pay $7,500 monthly for 6 months. First payment due in 2 weeks. Miss one payment, full amount plus fees due immediately. I held the signed agreement, this piece of paper representing years of exploitation finally coming due, and felt something I hadn't felt in decades, vindication. But I wasn't done. The money was just money. What I wanted was for them to understand what they'd done. I called the 19 who'd voted yes. Asked each, if you believed it was fair for me to pay $4,287 monthly for Vanessa's kids, would you contribute proportionally? Just $200 a month? Every single one had excuses. I'm on fixed income. My expenses are tight. I have my own kids. That's different. I documented every response. Published them anonymously. Fourth blog post, the 19 people who voted to spend my money, but wouldn't spend their own. 500,000 views in 3 days. My blog became a phenomenon. People shared their own stories. Thousands of them. Invisible daughters, forgotten sons, family scapegoats bled dry. A support group formed. A community of people who'd been where I was. I wasn't just free. I was helping others get free too. Vanessa made her first payment. $7,500. No note, no apology. Just a bank transfer. Second payment came on time. Third. By the fourth, something shifted. My mother called from an unknown number. I answered. Rachel. Can we talk? Really talk? What's there to talk about? I think I understand now. What we did. How it felt. Felt? It felt like betrayal. Like 32 years of being invisible culminating in you voting that I owed you my bank account. I know. You're right. I'm so sorry. For all of it. For not seeing you, for not protecting you, for letting Vanessa take advantage. What changed? Your blog. The comments. Seeing how many people went through what you did. Seeing them call us abusers. Seeing our behavior reflected back. We couldn't deny it anymore. So you're sorry because you got caught. Because the internet called you out. Not because you realized how much you hurt me. That's not. It is, Mom. If I hadn't gone public, you'd still think you were right. The only thing that changed is your reputation. She was crying. Please, Rachel. I'm your mother. I love you. I made mistakes, but I love you. Doesn't that count? Love isn't something you say. It's something you do. You've spent my life showing me you loved Vanessa more. That you loved your comfort more. That you loved my money more than me. That's not true. Then where were you on my 30th birthday? When I bought my condo? When I won Consultant of the Year? Where were you for any moment that didn't involve me giving you something? Silence. You love what I provide. You don't love me. I do. Every child needs their mother to show love. I just stopped asking for it. I hung up. Vanessa made her 6th and final payment. She called. It's done. Last payment went through. We're even. We're financially even. We'll never be even any other way. I know. I know I hurt you. I was a terrible sister. You were. I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know I understand now. Good. That's it? Just good? What do you want, Vanessa? To go back? There is no going back. You showed me who you were. I believed you. So we're strangers now? We've always been strangers. You just had access to my bank account. She laughed or sobbed. You've gotten hard. No. I've gotten healthy. There's a difference. She hung up. I sat there, feeling 32 years of dysfunction finally lifting off my shoulders. I wasn't their daughter anymore. Not their sister. Not their backup plan or safety net or ATM. I was just Rachel. And for the first time, that was enough. The blog continued growing. I did speaking engagements about financial boundaries in families, recognizing manipulation, the difference between helping and enabling. I wrote a book. The Invisible Daughter, Breaking Free from Family Financial Abuse. Bestseller within 2 months. The irony, the family that said I was wasting my potential launched me into a career advocating for people like me. I made more from the book than I ever made consulting. Donated half to organizations helping young people escape family financial exploitation. The other half? I kept. For me. For the life I was building. For the future I deserved. 6 months after final payment, I got a wedding invitation from Jennifer. Handwritten note, I know you've cut off most of the family, but I'd love for you to be there. No pressure. J. I RSVP'd yes. The wedding was beautiful. Small, intimate, by a lake. Jennifer cried when she saw me. You came. You invited me like a person, not a wallet. Of course I came. She hugged me tight. I'm so proud of you. My parents, Vanessa, and the 19 who voted yes, notably absent. I didn't invite them, Jennifer said. After everything they did, I couldn't. I told them if they couldn't respect you, they couldn't come. You didn't have to. Yes, I did. You deserved one family event where you weren't expected to smile and play nice with people who abused you. You deserved to just exist. As someone I love. I cried. Because someone in my family chose me. Not my money. Not my usefulness. Me. We danced until midnight. I laughed until my stomach hurt. This was what family could be when not built on exploitation. When built on respect, choice, genuine love. Driving back to Portland, watching sunrise over mountains, I realized, I wasn't broken. I wasn't damaged. I wasn't wrong. I was free. And freedom looks like living where no one votes on your worth, where no one invoices you for being related, where the only person you owe anything to is yourself. My parents tried reaching out over the following year. Cards on birthdays. Holiday emails. Same theme, can we move past this? Can we be family again? I never responded. Because moving past requires forgetting. I couldn't forget. I wouldn't. Not the meeting. Not the spreadsheet. Not the way they laughed telling me my money secured someone else's future. Not 32 years of invisibility. I couldn't forget. So I couldn't forgive. And I was okay with that. Forgiveness isn't mandatory. Sometimes the healthiest thing is remembering exactly what someone showed you and honoring that truth by keeping distance. I built my life bigger, brighter, fuller. Traveled to places I'd always wanted. Bought art I loved. Took classes. Dated. I met someone who valued me for existing, not providing. Who celebrated my successes instead of seeing resources to tap. Who understood my greatest achievement wasn't my bank account, it was walking away from people who didn't deserve me. We got engaged on a Tuesday in my living room. No grand gesture, just, want to build a life together? I said yes. When I posted it, carefully curated to exclude immediate family, comments overwhelmed me. People who'd followed my journey celebrated with me. Vanessa saw it somehow. Message through a mutual friend, congratulations. I mean it. I hope you're happy. I didn't respond. Because happiness isn't something you wish for someone after trying to drain it from them. Happiness is something you protect, guard, build with people who care. And I was happy. Genuinely, deeply, completely happy. Not because of revenge. Not because they suffered. Not because justice was served. But because I'd finally chosen myself. The daughter they'd voted to exploit became a woman they couldn't touch. The sister they'd build became someone who understood her worth. The invisible child became visible on her own terms. And the family that tried to invoice me for existing learned a hard lesson. You can't control someone who's already free. My name is Rachel Thompson. And the family that tried to invoice me doesn't know where I live anymore. Doesn't have my phone number. Doesn't have access to my life. And I've never slept better.